I want to talk about composition of functions. It's section 2.3, chapter 2 of your book. And what I want to emphasize here is look at the slot. We've talked about slot before, but if you were kind of unsure as to what I meant by slot, this is the time to really figure it out, because we're going to be putting, instead of a number into the slot, well, the function is a number, but it will look like a function. Let me give you, not an example, but I'm going to tell you what this is. When I talk about a composition of functions, I'm talking about doing this sort of thing, where we take g of x, we've got f of x over here equal to some function. And we have g of x equal to some function. Sorry, I didn't define that earlier. And when I talk about f of g of x, which is also written f of g, looks like fog, we are talking about taking this function here and putting it in this slot and then applying whatever f does to that function. Here's an example. Let's suppose f of x is x squared plus 8. And g of x is x to the 4th. I'm going to, when I take f of g of x, I'm going to take f, and in this slot here, I'm going to write g of x. But g of x is x to the 4th. This is what I love about the composition of functions, because it forces you to understand this slot principle of a function. I'm talking about now applying f to what is in this slot. In this case, it's x to the 4th. F says, take whatever in that slot, x, square it, and add 8. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take what's in this slot, which is x to the 4th. I'm going to square it and then add 8. And if you remember your rules of exponents, x to the 4th squared is x to the 8th and then plus 8. This is f of g of x. I want to show you something though. G of f of x is not the same. Let's suppose I want to do g of f of x. That is going to be g of, and in this slot here, I want to put f of x. Well, f of x is x squared plus 8. G says to take whatever is in this slot and take it to the 4th power. So this is going to be x squared plus 8 to the 4th power. Now, I don't want to expand this out, but for reasons of just showing you that they're different, I hope you see that x squared plus 8 taken to the 4th power is going to be a much different answer than x to the 8th plus 8. Just to start it off, x squared plus 8 times x squared plus 8, that's going to be 8 times 8, 64. 8 times x squared is 8x squared. X squared times, there's going to be another 8x squared. This is going to be x to the 4th. So we already have, halfway through our multiplying, we have x to the 4th plus 16x squared plus 64. You can tell right away that we've already missed getting our 8. This is not the same. There is a situation where you do get the same thing. It is with the inverse functions. We'll be covering those in a week or so. Anyway, composition of functions, I'll do more in class.